boys talking. We made a podcast about your dad. I've got Dr. Scholl's in my Converse now, so I can jump up and down on stage. I'm getting old, but I can still get it up for you. So sit back and pass gas, cause it's time to relax for the Caffeine Coffins podcast.
I just want to bite into it, you know?
Oh my God.
Shit. So are we back? We're on?
Yeah,
we're rolling. We're back
rolling.
with episode 2 of Caffeine Coffins. And
Feels good.
feels good, yeah.
It's been, how many weeks has it been since we did the first one?
Well, it comes out literally tomorrow, but I think
Yeah.
we did the first one probably like 3 weeks ago. Maybe 4 weeks
Wow,
ago.
that long?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You think like, oh, we're going to just be running and do it. Well, we'll be popping one out every week.
Yeah.
No, it's absurd.
No.
You know,
It's just not possible with our, crazy music schedules.
doing too much. What do we have? We don't really have anything on the books for today.
Well, go really quick before we get to, our kind of our little platform and our agenda format. I just wanted to talk about your show last night.
All right. I had a show last night.
Yeah, the That's Rad played with The Way Past Cool.
The Way Past Cool.
And the Here
I
Be
think they're called The
Monsters.
Way Past Cools.
It is The Way Past Cools. And the Here Be Monsters.
And the Here Be Monsters.
Who we featured on the last podcast.
And they played that song. He played that song live.
Yeah.
Love
that.
Liminal Space. And it was fucking awesome. And I was like, I feel cool because I know every word of the song just about, and nobody else does.
I was actually rocking to it this morning. I had it on
Hell yeah.
this
It's
morning.
a good song,
It's a
man.
great track.
Yeah, I looped it a lot. Taylor? Hell yeah, son.
So, I don't know what it was about the energy last night, but I will say, last night was the best show that I've seen of That's Rad. Hands down. I don't know. It was not only just the energy, but you guys were polished. You guys
We didn't fuck up a lot.
No.
Yeah, we
No.
it's one of the rarities. We didn't fuck up too much.
I think there's a couple factors there. I think that you're pretty good about this for most of the shows, but I think, there was a very clear set list. There wasn't too many features of other people on stage, which kept you guys together. You all were in sync, but when you throw in more members or other people jump up, it can offset the rhythm of your band a little bit. And of course you had Christian up to play.
That was last minute too. I talked to him before the show.
I was there. Yeah.
He's like, you didn't give me a. He's like, you didn't ask me to play anything. I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, well. I was like, do you know how to play American Idiot? And he was like, yeah. And that dude just fucking knows. Like, he's like one of those guys that knows everything.
He wasn't just doing Four on the Floor though. He was playing the bass line to that song, which was so cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all had a couple great bits in there. Doing the 1 year anniversary for Way Past Cool and doing the
that
cake
was a
in
last
the face.
minute thing too, man. Literally on the way to sound check, I was like, I should get him a cake. Mm-hmm. And so I was late for.
Was that a gas station cake?
I was late. No, it was Kroger actually.
Okay.
The icing was pretty good. Once it got smashed in my face, it was pretty good.
Yeah. I was yelling at you, but I was asking if I could come lick it off your face.
Oh yeah, you should just come up. Just come up and
just hold your face still.
Wow, this got fucking weird. We're done coming to these shows. Shit. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it was a good show. I think we felt good about it, and I really like doing. I was too like, oh man, we don't have any features, and I like doing the features because it gets, especially for the cover band, it gets other people involved. It gets the community involved, and again, it just circles back to that. It just builds community around it. Like, oh, I went up there with them once, or this and that, and people remember that shit. When we first started doing it, we would pull people up to finish a song, sort of like we did with 1985.
Right.
And these people had never ever been on stage before or anything, and it was just we did that a few times in the beginning, and those people still come out to shows because they're just it's that they're stuck with it. You know what I mean? It's ingrained in them. So and it's like when you go to a show when you're a kid, and that's all I'm trying to do with the pop punk cover band is it's just bring that back that magic of when you went to a show when you were 14 or 15, and these guys playing the show are 10 years older than you, and they're just ridiculous and it's wild and it's like it's magical. And I get that it's like we're not playing to stadiums, but
it's an experience.
Trying to bring that.
You're not just doing a show. I'm playing to you. You're bringing the audience into the experience.
Yeah, but you're right too. Is there has to be a balance on that experience, and Evan's talked about that too. Like, yo, I don't like. Sometimes we pull someone up that royally fucks it up, you know, and he's like
that one time I went up.
Yeah, there was that, and then the guy. Maybe it's a 1985 thing because the guy that came to do 1985 last night, we pulled him up and to sing the last chorus, and I mean he was like. I was like, oh fuck, like, because it was way off. Evan brought it back on, then he got back on. So there is a balance with it, but get other people involved in your music one way or another. Whether it's in the show or it's
features on
online,
an album.
features on an album. That's really important. We need to talk about that. That's a good
even producing.
Yeah.
Producing can be good even at our stage of recording at home, or it's just bringing somebody in and be like, hey, this is kind of where I'm at. What can you what thoughts do you have? What can you offer to what I'm building here? Yeah, and I think that's a game changer. I've done that with you.
Yeah.
For
yes we have. Yeah, you're really good about that too. Like I think about the record that Murder the Mood's about to put out.
I brought you in on a lot of that stuff.
I'm in on a couple things. You've got Eli from the Getaway Company.
Mm-hmm.
He also drums for Rosie and the Rat Dogs. These are Athens bands.
That's the next single we're putting out is a track called Pop Songs that Eli's on.
Yeah, I know that track. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, so I mean, get others involved, and that's what that's going to make a lot of fucking noise.
Bring that up. All right. Please hold.
That's that a lot of sorry for all that noise. A lot of hip hop artists do that, especially when they're on the come up. Is like you look at their records and like everything is featuring this person, featuring that person, and they're all trading around like game and credit, and that helps the others like come up. So if it makes sense and you can find it, do the features. And I think that I have trouble with that because I'm so like
control freak.
This is mine. This is this is mine for my personal stuff, but like I want to share it with others, and so I need to take a note out of your book.
It's rewarding, dude. It's rewarding, and I think the only time I get a little bit of anxiety about it is like playing the track live, and maybe I didn't memorize, like what Eli is doing, and if Eli can't, he's not gonna be able to make it to every show,
or he just didn't have the same flair. Like you're getting, like you're getting something. You're getting like their flair and their voicing and their I always say this, like you could write something and that really means something to you, and someone else could technically play it better, right? Always.
So true.
But it's never gonna have like. It was like when Matt Skiba was filling in for Tom DeLonge for so long. And like Matt Skiba, Alkaline Trio, Tom DeLonge, Blink-182, Tom left Blink, and Matt stepped in, and Matt's a fucking awesome guitar player.
Incredible
great
guitar
vocalist. Player. On the technical side, live, at least at the time, like Matt was... I don't like to say it, but Matt might have been technically
better. I can say it.
You can say it. I can't say it. Okay.
Matt Skiba is technically a much better guitarist than Tom DeLonge.
But didn't have the magic.
Yeah.
Didn't have the magic.
Yeah.
It just didn't have the magic.
Chemistry. Did you ever see Matt Skiba with Blink?
I was going to go to the very first show they did in LA when it was like Blink-182 with Matt Skiba.
Were you an Alkaline Trio before?
Huge Alkaline Trio fan. And so I was like, this is sick. And then like once he became like a permanent member, then I had to boycott it. And that's a whole fucking rabbit hole that might be dangerous for us to get down.
Because I'm on the other side.
Yeah. So I'll leave the room. I will leave the fucking room.
But I don't have like I'm on the other side of it, as in I enjoy both versions. But I'm not like gonna like die on that hill or anything. I just
And California grew on me. It really did. The first record they put out with Matt really grew on me. But my thing was like Nine is not. Yeah, I don't even listen to it. There's like one or two songs that are
I listen to the whole thing.
Are decent. You listened to it or you liked it?
I like the whole thing.
You like the whole thing?
I do.
Really?
I do.
I don't hear that from people.
But I don't view it as a Blink album.
It's not.
I view it as like a collaboration that like Matt Skiba did with two of the old members of Blink.
Yeah. I mean that's how I felt everything was, and so I just couldn't take. It was like, dude, if Kyle and Tyler replaced you.
Uh-huh.
Because you were being a little bitch about something.
That could happen.
You know,
but they're afraid of me. It's okay.
It's not gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna be Murder the Mood.
No.
You can package it up. You can get someone that tries to emulate what you're doing, and you can bring all these producers in and be like, okay, we got to write like this guy, but it's not. I'm like
in my seat, ready to say something.
Yeah.
So okay, on that note,
mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts about when a band removes one or two members for any reason? And keeps the name of the original band?
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Man, if it's a vocalist and a prominent songwriter, like, and that happens. That's happened with bands like what's it, like Of Mice and Men, Ice Nine Kills, Sublime with Rome.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, for the fans that are already fans,
sure.
Like, that kills the band, man. Like, you can't. You know, it's like what they're doing is especially if it's like prominent songwriters and or vocalists.
Think about Seosin.
Yeah.
Anthony Green.
Yeah, you're gonna replace Anthony
does the
Green.
demo. They put in another artist, and I actually found out about Seosin after Anthony
when
Green.
They had Cove,
right?
Yeah.
And then Anthony Green comes back, and it's like, oh my god, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's just like they're trying. I get it, you know, and they're using the name. The name is what's been built up. When you think about Blink, like Blink-182 is a corporation. You know, they're a corporation at this point.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's fucking Blink-182 is punk rock forever, but it's a corporation. Like, good for them, lucky. So they're trying to hold on to that cash, and you know, fuck it. I only know so much. I mean, Travis Barker is so prominent to that band. Mark Hoppus is so prominent to that band. And Tom DeLonge is too. They're really like such a unique trio in the state that like. At this point in time, like, that band has to have each of those individuals. None of them. Mark is not replaceable. Tom is not replaceable. Travis, they're not replaceable. They're just, I think it's different situations.
It is, and I'm obviously we can put them up on a pedestal of their own caliber. But I'm thinking like if you have a local band, and there's new iterations, and I'm guilty of this, of members. Do you outside of, I guess, the lead singer, do you keep that name and you keep trading on that name even though the drums change, the bass changes, and then you have this other sound? Like, does that bother you at all? Or you're like, okay.
I don't think it bothers me. I think that if the primary vocalist and songwriter leaves, I think that then it does.
That's the moment.
The vocals and the songwriting, because that just creates a whole, like, now you're just a completely different band under the same name.
Yeah.
Like, even my Phantom Dance stuff, like, I did that one show with y'all 2 years ago, and like I want to put another project together for sure. And are all the same people going to be involved? Probably not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
just because that's not how it probably just wouldn't work out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's like, but it's my sound, it's my songwriting. Like, I can get. And same with Murder the Mood. Like, you've had to get new bass players, you've had to get new drummers. It's been a long time on the drummer.
Yeah.
But Murder the Mood is all of you guys collectively, yes. But Kyle and Tyler, I fucking love you guys. But Murder the Mood is like your little brainchild, or whatever the fuck they call it, you know. And they've come in to embellish it.
Yeah, you know? I'll give them props. Though. I mean, like, I think the sound that we have now, the evolution of it, our third album's coming out in a month. Like,
maybe we cut this. Maybe I just want to make sure that what I said came out the right way. Like,
no,
Kyle's added a huge sound to this and that. But you've had these songs forever, and they've developed now because of them.
Yes.
You know. But still, these are your songs that you've had for, like, you bring the song to them, and they develop on it. Correct.
Yeah. And then this is the first album.
Make sure I'm getting that out very correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They got this thick skin. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or they won't.
Thick skin and thick. What else?
Foreskin.
Thick foreskin. Thick foreskin is important too, you know. It's okay, man. I got real thick foreskin. I'll be all right. That's what I'm gonna start saying. It's very. All right,
where are we drinking coffee from today?
Today we got to move on. Once foreskin makes it into we got coffee from 1,000 Faces. 1,000 Faces is a local roaster.
Yes.
They provide to a lot of the coffee shops in town, but 1,000 Face, they do their own roasting, and their coffee's excellent.
I gotta be honest, this is the first time I've ever had it.
You've probably had it at Sips. unless I get you some weird thing.
Okay.
Because they deal to Sips.
And this is the 100th time I've had it.
Yes, yeah, because Sips does beans from Thousand Faces and Jittery Joe's.
Okay.
But Thousand Faces also has their own shop downtown.
Yeah.
And the girl, I don't know the barista's name, but she was very sweet today, so call out to her. She was really cool.
Excellent.
I came in, it's so fucking hot outside today. It's like 97 in Georgia today. Yeah. And I got in there and it was so cold, and I was just like,
you didn't want to leave?
I was like, just a second. Like, it's so...
Is that why it took you so long to get over here today?
She's like, you want a glass of water? I got here on time.
You did. I will say, like, so... We're obviously figuring out this whole podcast thing, but we've done a couple different versions. We really have done none in the morning. Like, to me, I feel like a podcast is a morning thing for the listener.
Oh, Monsters in the Morning.
Monsters in the Morning. But we have not done these before like 1 o'clock, which is interesting.
No, yeah, it's about two something right now.
But the coffee is just it still feels great.
Oh yeah, I actually had a Red Bull on the way over here. I took a nap before I got here. And I was so fucking tired.
You were texting me back. I was like, he's sleeping.
I took. Jenna was like, just close your eyes for 20 minutes. And I was like,
what
fine.
What time did you get home from the show last night?
Oh, about 2 o'clock.
Did you?
Yeah, about 2. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you get off stage and like I don't want to pack any of my shit up. Like when I get out, I need like 40 minutes until I start packing my stuff up. Well, if we don't have anything else to talk about, we've got items to talk about in here.
The coffin, from the coffin.
From the coffin, from the grave. Do you want to grab the first one? We don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
They're folded up. You can't see them anyways.
Oh, Russell. All right. What's our topic today?
Do you hear this? Remember last time you were... No. No.
All right. Topic is going to local shows.
Shit, I feel like we kind of covered that today, but that's good. That's good. We can go to that.
I got a first thought to kick us off.
Yeah.
So with going out last night, it's kind of good that it was so fresh that you had that show. But with going out last night, I like forget about the level of community that there is when you go out to a show. Like I haven't been out. You know, I'm one of those, terrible musicians that sometimes in between my shows. Mm-hmm. I don't really go to a lot.
Well, that's the struggle of being a 30-plus musician.
Yeah,
you've got shit to deal with, and like I want to chill at home with my
practice,
wife.
Recording, mixing this podcast, spending time with you, making sure you don't hurt yourself.
But you went out to a show last night, and you're like, "Yo, like
it just reminded me.
This is sick." Like, and
all of our friends were out last night, and people from other bands were out.
Yeah.
We.
That's what I love to see.
The other thing too, that's important is that if you don't go out to these other shows and spend time with other people, you don't know what good bands should be on your next show. Yeah. Who do you invite?
And you know what? Like the more you're out there connecting and talking, and it's not self-serving, but like you have got to be going. If you're doing music locally and you're playing and you want to be playing shows and you want to start building up a community around your project that's beyond fucking TikTok and beyond Instagram, like you want to build a real community around your project, like you have got to be going out to shows. You can't go to all of them. Some of us can go to more others, but you've got to try to go to shows and support other artists and talk to them and just like spread the love, because if you're not willing to go out to anybody's stuff, don't expect them to like come out to get off their couches and come to yours and tell their friends and
that's
all
the other
that.
thing is inviting. Like last night before I went out, like I invited 3 people and I was like,
that's fucking huge. If I go to a show, I'm gonna hit up everybody I know in town. Like, hey, you want to catch this show? Like, that's how you start like organically filling up your shows. It's like go to shows, bring your homies, get them into it. Whoever wants to come.
Yeah,
everybody.
Who wants to go to a show by yourself and stand out there and be like, "Oh, it was good."
I'll do it.
Yeah,
but
of
it's
course,
like
but
go.
If you were there with a bunch of friends, you're all drinking, you're spending time together, or food beforehand. We did pregame with drinks. It was me, Jen, and Nicole.
Went out. He went on a date with my wife the other night. They came rolling up together. So Jesus Christ,
we were wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, I love it.
We both were talking about how jealous we are about you and your cat. We both want to find love.
Yeah, my cat is amazing.
Do you have enough percentage to share with me and Jenna outside of your cat?
I got to split it 33, 33, 34. Who gets the 34? But yeah, absolutely. It's go out to shows in your community, like build the music scene isn't just going to build. Like we have this cool niche where like we started playing in our buddy Dane's backyard during COVID, and all those same bands, you know, we're all out at shows. Evan Posey, a local musician in town, he's great about coming to shows. Rapid Channel, like we should get one of their songs.
What's his metal band?
Guillotine AD.
They've got their own beer from Academia.
Like go to like local shows, go to shows.
Yeah.
Go to shows. Like shows are fun. They're not a chore. Like go to shows.
No.
Like it's so much better than Netflix. Sometimes you got to just sit and watch Netflix, but go out to shows, man. Like I cannot stress that enough. Like if you want a music scene, like it's not going to just happen. You've got to go to shows and you've got to make it happen.
And I think you've been really good about that because you've only been in Athens for 4 years.
In my 30s, I go to more local shows than I've ever gone to.
Yeah, it's incredible, and I know, but you've also done a really good job of creating a healthy clique of musicians. That go out to other musician shows and spend time together, and know each other. I mean, I had a good group when we were here back in the day. It was Old World Monkeys and the Good Looks and playing Caledonia downtown, which R.I.P. But when as we started to get older and some people's bands fell apart and they all joined other bands and I stole a member or two, it just and then COVID hit and you know, thank goodness for Dane's backyard. Thank goodness for us spend time together and then you and I just being like, hey, we wanted to take our friendship into the music scene as well. And that's I mean that's in big part to you and the way that you and I spend time together.
Yeah, man, it just happened, and it just makes sense. Like I love seeing other bands out. Like last night, man, I saw Murder the Mood members out. I saw Rosie and the Rat Dog members out. I saw Getaway Company members, Nick's the Scientist companies. I saw
Rapid Channel, Rosie.
Rapid Channel, Rosie, a new one called Red Dakota. They're going to be playing at Porch Fest. Lauren from Burn Babes is playing bass for them, and Christian's actually going to be playing for them too.
Oh, nice.
Who else? Like, fuck. If I miss any of y'all,
Burns Like Fire guys were all out.
Burns Like Fire guys were out. Yeah, Josh had the lumberjack thing earlier in the day, and
love seeing him
out supporting other bands, and I think it's really cool. So. Go to local shows. Absolutely. That's how scenes build up. I remember like in 2009 era, all these awesome bands were coming out of Poughkeepsie, New York, which was Poughkeepsie, New York. It wasn't New York City. It was just like. But the music scene was awesome there, and all these bands were just coming, and bands that did well. We Are the In Crowd came out of there. I can't name any others at the moment, but some good bands were coming out. I think Matchbook Romance is from there. Like some cool bands are coming. It's because they had a music scene. When a city has a music scene, that is building and cool bands are happening. Like other cities, other publications outside of the city, they're going to start to take notice. And they're going to turn their heads to this city and be like, yo, Athens is kind of back on the map. Like, we can't hold on to the B-52s and REM forever. Can't be done.
No.
They were great. They had their time. But, like, you know.
What other bands are coming out
and
talking about this
times? Yeah. You know who does a really good job with that, too, is Sam Lipkin. She runs Volumes, hip-hop. And, like, they've got a great scene. And
Isn't she working on promoting some festival?
Yeah, she's got Scrap Stock coming up. That's in August, end of August, like 25th, 26th. Scrap Stock. So Volumes does a really good job with like just like creating a scene, and I know she puts a ton of work into that. And same thing, those hip hop guys are all out like supporting each other. So it's cool. And then like marrying these, like there's like 5 different punk scenes in Athens. There's several different rock scenes. There's indie scenes. There's the hip hop scene. I'm sure there's like folk scenes, and there's a lot of different scenes. Like you can only cross genres so much, but like if we can start marrying these scenes and like book some shows, like this is my challenge to you for Murder the Mood. I know you guys got a show coming up on the 19th at Nowhere Bar. This isn't a plug, but for your next local show, if it's not booked already, book with 2 local bands that you've never played with. Like I'm telling you, man, like we need to start that's rad too. Like, we need to start doing that. Stop playing with the same bands every time. Your community is not going to grow if you play with the same bands on rotation every other time.
You're right.
You've got to find new bands. And like, we went to that Flickr show for Noise Mountain and Wild Staley's, and like, Flickr had a good amount of people in there. And like, Murder the Mood could absolutely sweep up some of those people. Play with new bands.
Sure.
You fucking got to. And that's going to widen your community. It's going to widen your reach. Some of their fans are going to be like, oh man, I love this. I'll fuck with this. And that your scene is going to grow even more. And then you do another show, right? And you play with one of the bands that you did, one of the new bands, and then you invite one of your old bands, like maybe you invite us or you invite Getaway Company or whatever. And now it's grown for everybody even more, and it compounds. You play in the same bubble, you're going to get the same bubble.
Yeah.
And like that's fun, but like you can grow organically like that, but you've got to make some cool moves.
You can play actually more prolifically, play more shows if you are playing to different audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You can only play to your core audience once a month
Yeah.
or every other month, because they're not going to come out every other week to see
Stop
you
booking
either.
shows every 2 weeks in the same town, guys. Like, come. I see them like, yo, you guys played last week in this market.
Yeah.
Well, who do you know? First of all, I can't come out to your show every week. You know. Second, like, you're not doing anyone.
Firstly, I don't want to.
I don't want to. You're not doing any favors to yourself or anybody. Like, wait for 4 to 6 weeks in between shows in the same market. Go play Gainesville. Go play Augusta. Go play Atlanta, Kennesaw. There's a million other places to play. Alberton, like whatever.
I just need to make that sacrifice and be more dedicated, because you're right. If I'm not willing to make that sacrifice and, you know, kind of be lazy and want to watch Battlestar Galactica and sit home with joy.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I get it.
I need to pick one night out of the week and just go out, and we need to go see a show. And
and honestly, like, we should just start doing that. Like, just make a point.
I'm agreeing with you right now on the podcast.
Eventually, my calendar is gonna be just like Nick at Night with CJ.
Yep.
Local show with CJ. Local show of bands that we do not know with CJ.
Yep.
Podcast with CJ. I'll squeeze a little bit of time
in with my wife.
wife.
Saying we need to expand a little bit of our. I'm not even going to say that because I don't want to expand my friend group.
I don't want to either. No, I do. We're all friends. And then just invite. We go to a show, man, and we just invite everybody that we know out to the show.
Yeah.
You know, like, and go to. I mean, there's so many good bands in Athens. There's so many good bands in like wherever your scene is. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to know about them, and you're not going to know about the community unless you go out, go to shows. Shows are fucking sick. Shows are sick in your 30s. Like, yeah, some of them are late as fuck. Either get over it or
get a new hobby.
Get a new hobby. Yeah, you get a new hobby, right? So yeah, local shows, man.
Speaking of kind of expanding your what are we gonna call that? Like your bubble, I guess. Yeah. You know, kind of getting out of that. We did want to feature someone maybe outside of our bubble a little bit in terms of the style of music and the scene. Really good friend of mine, Steve Phillips, has a band with a great group of guys called the Grocks.
Oh yeah,
they're local to Athens. Steve and I kicked off that band together in 2013.
I always forget that you were jamming with him at first.
Yeah, it was. We were in Nucci's space, and we were talking about the opening song, the first song that we were going to do, called Pterodactyl. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about what sound does a pterodactyl make, and it's, you don't like that? Mm-hmm. You don't like that? Okay.
I'm just making sure you're okay.
I like to swivel in my chair.
Yeah. You got a good swivel. It's good rhythm to it.
Yeah, it's good rhythm. And so the sound that a pterodactyl makes is crack.
Yeah.
So.
Shit.
Yeah, and that's how the name of the band came out.
So.
The Grocks.
Grack.
Yeah. So the Grocks have a. I'm not involved anymore. This isn't my plug, but the Grocks just put out 2 singles. Just came out, I think, 2 days ago.
Okay.
If I'm a lot of good music has come out of Athens this week, folks. But the Grocks put out a single called "Without You."
Yep.
And we want to feature that here and now. Keep listening to the podcast and spend some time with us. Follow us on YouTube. We got Instagram up. I'm running the Facebook because Dan is too much of a Gen Z and doesn't want to deal with it.
Social media.
Yeah, he can't add on one more thing. So Although, do you have a Threads? You got a Threads?
I do, in my Only Threads posts.
Can you read that to us?
You guys want to read my Only Threads posts that I have? But I do have one.
You read it, we'll listen.
Is you could not eat Cheetos, but just remember you are going to die. So that's
okay. That's the takeout. That's the takeout.
Yeah. But hey, the Groks are sick. I think of them. I was telling you earlier, the Groks remind me of like if Buddy Holly and the Ramones fucked and had a punk rock baby, it would be the Groks.
It would be the Groks, and that's the sound it would make as it came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next month, guys.
Peace.
See ya.
Without you